Hey viewers, welcome back. You're watching us live and interactive on Revelation TV. Get well, stay well. We're taking your text messages, emails, and let's not forget about the tweets as well. We're on Twitter. We're doing #GetWellChallenge. All right. So, Felicity?
Right. Well, I'd like to start off by saying hello to Muriel up in Fife in Scotland. And I've had a letter from you in the post, and it was actually posted way back on my birthday, the 29th of January, I see, and I'm sorry, I've only just got this letter, and you're not on the email. So I'd just like to deal with this on air if we can now. Muriel's husband has got prostate and spine cancer, and she wants to know a decent diet. She's trusting in the Lord for his healing, and wonders if there is a diet or medicine that you would know that would help at this time. So yes, Muriel, you know, really we go back to God's amazing diet, which is getting people well at Hippocrates and on the Gerson Institute, where people do live. They go back to the Genesis 1:29 and 30, the herbs, the seeds, the vegetables, the fruit, the nuts, and the green plant, particularly the wheatgrass, because I've done a lot of programs on wheatgrass, as you know. So what I would suggest is that he does the juicing, you do the juicing for him perhaps, do the colonics, because particularly he's got the prostate problem and the spine, so we know where the cancer is lurking. And what you can do is detox, and you can also implant afterwards with the little implant bulb and put in the wheatgrass, which is liquid obviously, and goes into the clean colon. And they do know at Hippocrates that that has a tremendously good effect on prostate cancer and also for the ladies, you know, cancer in that area. Also, he can go on the apricot kernels, which are of course God's own fruits, the apricots, and they know that the kernel, the inside of the nut, is particularly good. It has hydrocyanic acid, which is like the apple seed and the grape seed, but particularly in the apricot, that is really good and does kill the cancer cells. There is something special in that seed that will actually react on the cancer cells but doesn't harm the rest of the cells in the body, so that's really important. There is something new also called the SOTA protocol, S-O-T-A, that stands for state of the art. I'm particularly impressed with that. I bought it for myself because a girlfriend of mine who's a doctor in Jersey, who actually gave me the B17 when I was so ill, that's the intravenous lateral, and her mother was dying of cancer in June last year. Her mother by September didn't have any cancer cells left in her body, and I was totally amazed with this wonderful state-of-the-art therapy. So I actually bought the magnetic pulsar, the electrical pulsar, and the water ozonator, and they do work extremely well for actually building up the immune system again. And of course it's our immune system that gets us well. Also, of course, there's a vegetarian diet, the juices, and eliminating the animal hormones. So that's why we cut out the meat and dairy. So Muriel, I hope that helps, and I'm sorry I didn't get your letter until literally this week, but God bless you and your husband, and I pray that this is going to work for you. So that's my first email of the day.
Fantastic. There you go, Muriel. I hope that's answered all your questions. We are live and interactive, so please do send us your text messages and your emails into the show. Hi both, I always enjoy your program, believe in the Genesis diet just as God has taught us in his word. While you were speaking about stress this morning, I was reminded of the serenity prayer. It really does include all that you were speaking about earlier. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference.
That's right, it's interesting, and that's part of the Alcoholics Anonymous prayer, I think the 12-step plan.
Yeah.
And interestingly, as Professor Andrew Saul says, who's been on many of our programs, he says that the niacin, the B3, niacinamide in particular, is so good for cheering people up, getting over depression, and also for helping people come off alcohol. So let's put that one in there as well. Really interesting. Okay, we got another one now?
We sure do. Hi there, I'm enjoying your show. I want to know what is the best type of nuts to have and how much should I have per day?
Okay, well, it depends. If you have diverticulitis or diverticulosis, then you want to actually cream the nuts in a juicer with a blank screen instead of the juicing screen. So you make a nut butter, as they call it. So you can do that with almonds, you can do it with pecans, you can do it with any of the nuts. But the almonds are probably the best one to start with, I think, because they're simplest. So you can get the flaked almonds, or you can soak them and take the little skins off yourself. They're called the aflatoxins, and they're the bit that sometimes is very indigestible. But if people have got diverticulitis and they've got inflammation in the pockets inside the colon, then certainly you wouldn't want to do the nuts. But on the other hand, if you've got a smooth colon and you're fit, then sure, you can nibble on those gorgeous almonds, walnuts, pecans. What are your favourite nuts? Do you have any that you can think of?
I love almonds.
I love the almonds, yes, and I think they're the best. A peanut, by the way, is not actually a nut, it's a fungus. And so those salted peanuts that you find, you know, when you go and have a drink somewhere and they give you salted peanuts, which are the wrong salt, it's the wrong, actually the nut is a fungus. And so the reason that they give you those is to build up your thirst with the salt.
Exactly,
So then you will order more drinks. So
I find nuts and seeds are fantastic when you're, if you're very hungry. It just helps you get through, doesn't it, to the next meal?
Another one I love is the macadamia. Macadamia nuts are absolutely gorgeous. And you see, and cashew nuts are good as well.
Yeah.
Cashew nuts are also good for people who are feeling depressed. They say that, again, Andrew Saul says a handful of cashew nuts is as good as a dose of Prozac without the side effects.
It's just so interesting how our mind works and how our body works, how something that you can physically put in your body, you can eat, can change the way that you're thinking and give you positivity as well.
Oh, totally. And you see, that's why I don't want to eat dead animals anymore, because you think of the suffering of the animal in its lifetime when it was being killed. And, you know, we were showing these awful films of such cruelty with the farming techniques. And so I don't want to put all that sadness and suffering into my body. I think it's so sad when people think they have to have a steak on their plate to have a decent meal, that animal's had to die to put the steak on their plate. And, you know, we showed that lovely little clip of the girl talking about the turkey. She was asked to say grace before Christmas lunch. And she said the most wonderful grace, talking about what had happened to the turkeys. And then said, and you know, now let's eat. And I think people preferred, you know, I love the lovely vegetables, like the red cabbage, for instance. I think that's such and spinach. And, you know, you can do carrots beautifully. Mashed carrots, you can put a little bit of honey with them maybe. It tastes absolutely wonderful.
Broccoli, everything.
So
fantastic.
I don't want to eat dead animals anymore.
Hi Felicity, I just wanted to know if aloe vera juice is good for you, and if so, how much do you drink?
Well, aloe vera juices are amazing. It's really good, and you can get a good organic one, and you know, drink as much as you feel you need, and it's really soothing for the intestines and the colon. So we also implant sometimes with the aloe vera after we've done the colonic washout. So yeah, I'm a great fan of aloe. I have beautiful aloes growing in my garden, thanks to your mother, who's given me a lovely aloe plant. And so if ever you burn yourself in the kitchen, you know, you cut a bit of that leaf off, and this beautiful gel comes out.
That's exactly right,
And you put it on your burn, and it really is wonderful. Good for the skin as well.
Used to use that as a child, actually.
And for sunburn, aloe is really
exactly.
good.
Hi, can you tell me if geopathic stress is real? I have a substation at the bottom of my small garden, an electric pylon near the front door. Are they bad, and what are the effects?
Well, there's a lot of work's been done on that, and funnily enough, I'm doing some research on that at the moment. This firm SOTA, S-O-T-A, state of the art, they do some wonderful things against if you go on to CytoDoc, 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 there's now a company in England who are specializing in selling devices that will actually absorb that geopathic stress, also take out the danger from the computers, from our mobile phones, from the electrical power stations, the cell masts. You know, we have these huge masts which are radiating out to our mobile phones, and we can't see this, we can't smell it, but believe me, it is affecting our bodies. So yeah, I believe very much in this, in trying to avoid the geopathic stress. And if you get hold of David on CytoDoc, then you'll find he's got a website there with some wonderful things that we can use. And you can get little things that you can put on your mobile phone, you can get something you can put in your handbag, carry around with you. For the guys, put it in the pocket, and it will actually protect your body from the geopathic stress and from the electromagnetic radiation that we're all getting. They're really good to know about these things.
Okay, this one's from Susan. Hi, Si and Felicity. I watched a programme on another channel with Dr. Caroline Leaf. She was teaching today how to react to stress and good thoughts. This is not positive thinking because the root must be healthy, or does it work? With reference to a Christian reborn mind.
Well, of course, when we are Christian and we are reborn, we know that God is the answer. And when we come back to, as we were saying in the earlier program, you know, we change the body chemistry when we're praying, when we're meditating, as Jesus said, we should meditate on the Word. So you have to be very careful what you're meditating on. When you meditate on Jesus' words, then believe me, the most amazing healings do happen in the body. And when we come into the presence of the Holy Spirit, then healing will be surrounding you. So, you know, you can get new agey with these things, and I think that's something we have to watch out for. But always keep your eyes centered on Jesus, because he is the healer. Yeah.
Excellent. I just want to remind our viewers that we're doing a Twitter hashtag. It's called #GetWellChallenge. Send us in your tweets. Some more emails, Felicity, is this one's from Naj. Just want to ask, with reference to getting vitamin D from the sun, is it just as effective if you are indoors sitting by French windows, for example, or do you have to be outside?
Well, it won't come through the glass, so the thing is, your windows are open, then probably you are getting the direct sunshine. But certainly you should supplement. If you're in a bad, cold, sunless area of the world, and maybe you've come from a sunnier place, your skin is darker, then you need more vitamin D. And this is why so many people from the Caribbean who come to live in England do suffer with their health, because they are missing out on that vitamin D. And you know, my colleague and great friend Philip Day has done a lot of work on vitamin D. He sells a very good one on his website, and we have a joint shop together, because people very often don't know where to go and buy their vitamin D, and I don't make much money on any pennies on this sort of stuff, but it is there, and I do believe Philip Day does the most wonderful research. So I actually take vitamin D myself, and I think it's really important because it helps the immune system.
Hi Cyrus. Most doctors prescribe calcium supplements for people who have osteoporosis. What is Felicity's opinion? Is it best to get our calcium from our foods?
Always, yes. As Hippocrates said, let your medicine be your food and your food be your medicine. Because if it's inorganic calcium, you won't actually be able to absorb it in the body. It's only the organic. So that means that it's come through plants from the rocks to our body. If we take the rocks into our body, they will just go through. So really important where you get your source of calcium, and the phytonutrients will actually give us the right calcium direct into the body.
Okay, this one's from Lynn. Hi, Si and Felicity. Years ago, I used to do coffee enemas daily. Then, due to circumstances changing, I haven't done them since. As I'm watching you, I'm preparing to begin again. I still have the kit and I've bought some coffee, but I find I've forgotten the actual process of how much coffee and water to cook up and how long. before diluting with how much more water for the actual enema. So I'm hovering, waiting to begin, please.
Well, I wish you'd send us a photograph. That would be really entertaining for everybody. The thing is, Lynn, go on YouTube and put in Gerson coffee enemas, and there you will see a little film which will show you exactly how to prepare the coffee. And there's no cream and there's no sugar, as I know you know that. But everyone asks me. Can you do it with decaf? No, you can't do it with decaf.
Pat is asking, where can I find out of how to juice and what to use? Pat, I just want to answer your question. We've got a fantastic VT. This is with Joe Cross, and he's juicing with kids. Let's take a look at this.
So what are we putting in there first, mate?
The first one, we're going to start with some oranges.
Oranges. Now, you've peeled the oranges.
Yes.
Do you find that the kids with don't like the peel on it? You reckon it's better to take that off?
The peel is good for some people for the bioflavonoids, but most kids wouldn't really enjoy that taste of it too much.
Right. What do you say when parents say, you know, maybe there's a little bit too much sugar in the drink? What do you say to that? What's your response?
I usually would tell them that it's natural sugar. It is not processed sugar, so it's very healthy.
Yeah.
So I definitely would go with that.
Kids burn off. They have a tremendous amount of energy, so they're always running around and everything like that, right?
Yes, they have.
It's no good having the sugar and sitting there using a PlayStation, but you're out there kicking the football or throwing the frisbee.
Yes.
Pick up one of the cups in front of you guys. Yeah. And I'm going to come around. I'm going to pour out a little bit here for you. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to give you a shot of that. I'll take this one. There's a shot of that there. And I want you guys to tell me, honestly, give me a score out of 10, with 10 being the best on whether you like the taste of this, all right? Here we go. Anyone 10s? Hands up if it's a 10. Wow. You like it more than 10? Fantastic. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's show. At rebootwithjoe.com, we always try to educate, entertain and inspire. How about those kids today? Weren't they great? Well, I want to finish off, as we always do, with our top 5 fruits and veggies tips, but today for kids. Starting off with apples. Apples are great. They're naturally sweet and nutritious. Apples are a great alternative to sugary junk food for brown bag lunches or slices with peanut butter with a protein-packed after-school snack. Bananas. I call them bananas. You guys Americans, bananas. They are packed full of potassium for boosting and balancing energy. Freeze your bananas and put them in your Breville blender for ice cream, one of my favourites. How about those carrots? Great for eyesight strength and healthy skin. Try some carrot sticks with hummus dip. Love the hummus all time. They get those chickpeas flowing. What about those peas? Twice the amount of protein than other veggies that kids. I love my peas and I don't know too many kids that don't. And to kick it off, finally with our last one, spinach. Mention Popeye, perfect for getting strong. Hope you enjoyed our show today. More information on anything we've done today, recipes and all sorts of stuff at rebootwithjoe.com. Until next time, Joe Cross signing out from the Reboot Kitchen.
Hi there, viewers. Welcome back. That's with Joe Cross. G'day, I'm Joe Cross.
I just love Joe Cross. I think he's wonderful. We must get him on the show.
Excellent. Janet has sent us an email saying, hi, Ty and Felicity. Wondering what you think about choices of juices. I'm looking at the NutriBullet and Phillips. One extracts pulp and the other doesn't. Please can you run through the benefits of both and would help me before I spend maybe more than I need to. Many thanks and blessings. So that is asking about the NutriBullet first.
Sure, yes, I've got a NutriBullet and I've got juices. The NutriBullet is a blender. That's the first thing to understand. It's a blender and it's very good, and you can do nuts and all kinds of blending in there with things like bananas and avocados. But if you're going to juice, say, carrots and beets, as we're having today, the beetroot, certainly you're going to need a proper juicer where you get the pulp divided from the actual juice. So 2 different things there, a blender and a juicer, and you can get them at all different prices, of course, and from £50 upwards, so it's not terribly expensive. Going back to Joe Cross there, I loved the fact that he talked about the ice cream with the bananas, and I think that's something that people ought to know about, because you can actually blend those bananas, or you can add the fruits in and make a beautiful ice cream with no dairy, of course. Fantastic. There's no dairy, there's no sugar in it. So it's just the bananas, the frozen bananas. And do please peel them before you freeze them.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you'll never be able to peel them. And I have known people, yes, never mind.
Anyway.
The thing is, definitely peel them first. What a good idea when they're going off a little bit, the bananas are going off, you can put them in you actually peel them, put them in those bags, put them in the freezer, and then it's wonderful fun for the children. And you can make all the different flavors. You can put strawberries in and make pink ice cream.
Marvellous.
Or you can have blue ice cream with blackberries and grapes and all kinds of interesting things.
Wonderful.
So, great, yeah.
Excellent. Louise is asking us, Felicity, hello both. How would you suggest I change the kids' diet? I'd like to make them healthier. They are very fussy eaters.
Well, I think they'll like the banana ice cream for a start, so that's good. And the thing is to get them in there with you, juicing. They love to see this, say, the carrot juice pouring out of the machine. You know, they love to do it like your daughter does, my grandchildren do. It is such fun, and when they're active and they're doing something there, they're going to enjoy it. If I could just say hello to Paula and Corinne and their neighbour Joycey. And Joycey is suffering from tinnitus really badly, and that's such a nasty thing because they're sort of buzzing and whistling, very distressing in the ear. And very often it's caused by inflammation. And what I would say very quickly is oil pulling would be really good, because that takes, when you oil pull, that means putting the coconut oil in the mouth, swishing it round. It does take the inflammation and irritation out of ear, nose and throat. So you do this for about 10 minutes and then you spit it into a tissue, put that in the bin, not down a plug because it will clog things up. But that would help tremendously. And of course, coming off the meat and the dairy, because the mucoid plaque will cause the mucus in her ears that really sets off the tinnitus, also caused by loud noises. And my husband was a RAF pilot, so he had a bit of tinnitus from hours and hours flying with really noisy machinery around you. So really important. Also, ginkgo can help. That's a Chinese herb, and a lot of people find that good. So that's for you, especially Paula and Corinne, and love to Joycey.
Thank you. Thanks very much, Felicity. Our lovely Barbara has sent us an email. My mother.
Well done, Barb.
Hi, my dearest friend Felicity. Just to say, you look absolutely radiant in the blue, a picture of health.
Oh, thank you.
Your co-presenter does compliment your programme after doing the juicing. I have to say, 2 days ago, I did tempt him with a slice of pizza.
Oh, Bob.
And he completely refused me point blank.
Well done.
Keep up the good work. Lots of love, Barbara.
Well, that's excellent. Well done to Si.
Very good. Excellent. OK, can you please advise me on migraines? That's from Michael.
Right, Michael. Well, definitely the Gerson therapy will heal you, because it was Dr. Max Gerson, German Jew back in the 1940s, had terrible migraines. You know, the family were killed in the Holocaust. He was training as a medical doctor. He had the most incapacitating migraines from stress, and he learnt that by doing the colonics and going on the juices, he learnt to get rid of his migraines completely. And then he started telling the other medical students about it. Dr. Albert Schweitzer came back from Lambaréné in the Congo with TB, diabetes. He and his wife were really ill, and he got them well as well. And this was the beginning of the Gerson therapy.
A very quick email here saying from Thomasina, watching your programme from Ireland. Felicity, you mentioned about a phone that you can get something to take away the radiation. Do you know the website or?
A phone she's talking about.
A phone that you can take away radiation.
No, I don't know, but I know that there is something that will take the electromagnetic radiation out of a mobile phone.
Fantastic.
Yes, so she can email me about that.
Excellent. And you can also log on to Felicity's website if you have any further questions. It's hippocratesineurope.com. Felicity, we have come towards the end of today's programme.
It goes so fast, doesn't it, Si? It's amazing. And lots of interesting people today, and such a variety of health topics, which I love. So, you know, we come back to God's diet and we get well.
OK, Felicity, time's up. When you hear the noise, when you hear the music, that's it, we're off air. Thank you, viewers, so much for joining us today. We really do look forward to seeing you next time on Get Well, Stay Well. Take care and God bless. Bye.